Well, hey everyone, it's the Eurobandit here once again. Can you use a smaller battery on your car? Well, I got this 2001 Peugeot 406, which has a 3-liter V6 engine, and it had a bad battery, so I got rid of it last year. However, I didn't buy a new battery because I had a smaller battery lying around that I didn't use, which I'm gonna show you now. Let me pop the hood. And take the cover off the battery box, and there you go. As you can no doubt see, there's a bit of a gap in here and in here as well on both sides. So the original battery was quite a bit wider, and this car normally needs a 74 amps battery. This is a 45 amp battery with 420 cold crank amps. The one that came with the car had a 74 amps and 680 cold crank amps. This battery is totally fine. It's normal for one of my other cars, but that car is currently still under restoration. I'm not done with it, so might as well use this small battery for a while. So to answer your question, indeed you can use a smaller battery, and later on in this video I'm gonna show how the car actually cranks. However, I wouldn't recommend you to use a smaller battery in the long term, only temporary. Now usually when it comes to regular cars, they don't usually have big batteries. However, if they have a bigger gas powered engine, they will have a bigger battery because it takes more power to crank a bigger engine. And same thing if it has a diesel engine, it doesn't matter if it's bigger or not. A 2-liter diesel engine will use a bigger battery than a 2-liter gas engine because it has the glow plugs which preheat the fuel and whatnot. Using a smaller battery will probably result in slower cranking. So usually when you go out and buy a new battery, all it takes is to measure your battery, measure it well, because modern vehicles do have battery boxes, and if you buy a taller battery, chances are it may not fit. So make sure you measure the height, width and length of the battery. Now let me start up the car. When it comes to cranking, I didn't really notice a huge difference. However, it does crank a bit slower, which is completely normal because this small 45 amps battery wasn't really designed to crank a 3-liter engine. So let me start the car. No issues whatsoever. So as you could see, it does actually start normally. However, it's currently summertime. Well, it's early September, so you all know that when it's cold outside it will actually crank slower, which is fully normal. And especially on diesel engines, you do need a good battery to preheat the fuel and crank it. If you watch my previous videos, you do know that I only drive this car during the salt-free season, which is during the warm season, because it's my hobby car. And now if you happen to have a classic car like a Volvo Amazon or whatever car that has a generator instead of a alternator and it uses 6 volts, you can without an issue run a motorcycle battery, because those are 6 volts, so it won't be a problem. To sum it all up, yes, you can run a smaller battery on your vehicle, whether it has a diesel or gas engine. However, I won't recommend you to do it in the long term, only temporary until you get a new battery. Now as far as used batteries go, you could buy a used battery too if you find one for a decent price, but I would personally recommend you to buy a brand new, good quality battery, which will last you several years without an issue. So that was pretty much all I had to say. Now I'm gonna end this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, why not? Thumbs up, subscribe and check out my other videos, and I'll definitely see you next time. Cheers. And enjoy the sunset.